back to Gearwire.com. I'm Owen O'Malley, and we're going to be taking a look at the Zoom ZFX Stack Package, which is a hardware-software package. It comes with the ST2 USB audio interface, just a basic USB recording interface, and the ZFX plug-in software, which is a guitar amp and effects simulation plug-in, or emulation plug-in. It's not unlike an Amplitube or Guitar Rig. It works as either a VST plug-in or a standalone program. Okay, let's move on to the effects section. Here you can see down at the bottom of the screen we've got our effects window. There's a bunch of effects already laid out here for us. We got a compressor right here. We've got a volume pedal with the Zoom logo on it there. Let me turn the volume down on the guitar. A little spring reverb. Now right here is one of the tools that we saw, which is down here. This is basically our channel or signal router. You can see this is where our signal goes to the amp, and this is where the signal comes from the mic back to, the board, the virtual board. Using this, you can actually place effects after the microphone, if you so choose. Just another neat little option there. If you want to reroute some of the effects, you can just drag and drop them, put them in any order that you want. If you want to repatch cables, you simply go to the output of one cable and hold down the left button until you get to the input of the next pedal here, and there you see it draws a little curve avoiding our compressor here. If you want to take a pedal completely off the board, you just drag it over to the recycle bin. I love that it's a little recycle bin. These little wings here are your sort of like coming from the guitar. You just draw here to here. So now we've got our input going through the compressor and back to the volume pedal here too. Now if you want to add an effect, you just go up here to your effects. Let's add a little bit of a distortion here. Here's a little fuzz smile. Drag that down to right. Whoa, yeah. So when you drag it in there, it's engaged, obviously. I've disengaged it. Let's actually switch our head over to the JC120 emulator. Get a nice clean sound. Turn my guitar back up. Let's engage the little fuzz face here by just clicking on the bypass button. Kind of fun. Let's hear what it sounds like with a different distortion pedal in there. See a fuzz smile. A squeak, which looks like a Proco rat, I'm assuming. Not bad. Let's listen to something else. The Metal World, which looks like the Boss Metal Zone. That's pretty convincing. Now, these pedals, you can interact with them the same way you could interact with the heads. You can just, let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit. Some of them are kind of tiny, especially this little Boss pedal. But it's even got those concentric knobs like they do on the actual Boss pedals. It's pretty hard to get in there. Just as difficult to adjust as the real pedal. How's that for emulation? So looking at the tools here, this is where you find your volume pedal, an EQ pedal, and you've got a couple of mixers, splitters, a little isolator here. You've also got your amp module, which basically kicks your sound out to the amp and then back from the microphone. So a splitter is a basic splitter. You can pop it right down here in your signal chain and set up basically a side chain of effects over here. You can then take your mixer, sort of lead back from the side chain and blend the two side chains, or blend the two signal chains. You've got an isolator here, which is basically like a little crossover. So you can have two chains of effects affecting different sections of your frequency bandwidth there, your frequency spectrum. So there's a lot of stuff to play with. You can basically go over here to the patches, and if you've got a patch that you like, save your patch. I thought one of the sort of most endearing elements of the ZFX plugin is if you scroll through your catalog page by page, you get to little descriptions of each of the amps. It gives a little history of what the amps are, although it doesn't refer to them by name for copyright reasons. But it's sort of a little informational tool. So that's the ZFX plugin. It's a decent sounding plugin. In my opinion, Guitar Rig sounds a little bit better. This seems to be kind of like a little muddy sounding to my mind. And it also seems to use a lot of CPU. As you can see here, it's kind of a hardware hog. If you ran this as a plug-in in a plug-in heavy session, you might run into some sync problems. But it's certainly got a lot of options, and it's a lot of fun. Worth checking out. So for Gearwire.com, I'm Owen O'Malley, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.